Hi everyone, Tony Tonkin here from the Child Protection Party. I need to make a comment about the resignation of Cathy Taylor because this is important, I guess not just for those of us in South Australia who care about kids and care about the fact that they are removed at extraordinary numbers and that kids are dying while under the watch of the Child Protection Department. And the resignation of Cathy Taylor is something that we've been calling out for years, along with the ABC, along with, I guess, particularly the Advertiser. But it has happened. And there have been some comments made that suggest that things are going to automatically change as a result of Cathy not being there. Now, I don't have a personal issue with Cathy. I'm simply having a look at the way she had been managing the department and the lack of change that has occurred as a result of all of that. And there hasn't been any, and that there have been significant issues that have occurred while she's been running the department. Now, part of the responsibility of running the department rests with the Minister and also rests with the Premier. Now, Malinowskis has come out and stated that he has complete confidence in her, that clearly wants it to look like it was her decision to have to leave. She's been there for 7 years, 7 years too long, I suggest, but it is time that she decided to go on her own volition. Well, fair enough, be that as it may, don't really care. Fact is that she's gone. Now, we've been calling for her resignation simply because someone needs to be held accountable for whatever happens with any child protection department around Australia or around the world for that matter, and that she has been responsible for some terrible behaviours of the department staff themselves, some of the decisions that they've made, many in my opinion, which are just inappropriate and harmful to children and particularly a disadvantage to parents. So all these decisions, everything she's made, none of that has changed the department. It seems to me that it doesn't matter how many times the department makes mistakes, that the coroner comes out and makes statements about the inefficiency, the behaviour of staff, the types of decisions that they make, that they were not available or being able to provide the services that they should for families that were at risk. There's a whole myriad of reasons why it was important to get rid of someone like Cathy. Now, I do need to say, though, that this isn't all about Cathy's fault. This is about a system which would tend to lay the blame in one particular area, and that's with the Chief Executive Officer, but fails as a government to take responsibility overall for the way their system is run. Certainly, the person at the top of that system in terms of the department would have to be the Chief Executive. But the person totally responsible for all of this is the Minister, and subsequent to her or him is the Premier. Now, none of those people tend to take responsibility because basically they don't know what's going on within that department, which is fair enough. They probably don't know what goes on within any of the departments because, let's face it, the government is run by the public service. So who finally should take responsibility for what's happening to our kids? Well, it's a relatively new government, so we can't really blame them because this stuff was happening long before, and I guess therefore we need to blame people like Cathy Taylor and the people that work under her because the system has not changed. Now, I noticed an article in there on the ABC today where Belinda Valentine, who a person I consider a friend, came out and said that hopefully things will change under when they appoint a new executive. So she says, I think there was a collective sigh of relief because it opens the door to different thinking coming in. Now, I disagree with Belinda because we've had this story before. We have this story over and over again. Now, if they care to bring in somebody who is completely prepared to revamp the system, who would like to start again, then all the better, I reckon. But if they don't, if they choose somebody who just wants to massage whatever the system is right at the moment, isn't creative enough, hasn't got the courage to be able to challenge all of those that sit around them, around that table while they're making decisions about what to do around the lives of kids, if they can't think of that differently, if they can't rip it apart, reinvent it, and think about things completely differently, then it's an absolute freaking waste of time. These people get paid big money, more money than I'll ever earn or ever have earned for that matter. And yet they're incapable, it seems to me, to be able to make radical decisions, progressive decisions that changes the lives of children. Now, we know that there are situations where kids need to be removed. I've said that 1,000 times, do not dispute that. But there are many, many times when a child should not be. And I was just speaking to a client today about that, where the child should not be removed. There's enough caring in that family with the grandparents and other people that are around this child for the parent to remain with the child in the care of the grandparents. It's a case of, this intellectual disability shit that they carry on with, and making it seem that the parent is inadequate to be the parent they need to be. So how are they going to look at this differently? They're going to be, Cathy doesn't leave till April. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the meantime. I will be interested, we all should be interested, in who they're going to take over that position. And we need to scrutinise that person. We need to be able to say, well, what are you going to actually do that is different? What changes are you going to make around child protection, about social work practices that are actually going to make a difference? What are you going to do that is going to change this clogged up, retarded type system? What are you going to do to make it different? Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping that there will be the changes that you and I want. I'm hoping that there will be somebody with a new vision. I doubt it. I think we're going to get much of the same. I'd like to be wrong. I really would. And I'll be the first one to come on here and talk about that if I get it wrong. If I need to congratulate the person that comes in to replace Cathy, if I can see something different in their approach, that is fine. But I am pretty much assured that over the last 40 years, we haven't seen any changes whatsoever to this system that have basically changed the system for where it is right now. The system is the same. It has never changed. So what's going to be different? Well, we'll have to wait and see what the new person has to say about that. But we will be on their tail. We'll be making statements and putting out press releases and other things at Child Protection Party about all of those issues. So, if you wish to contact me, you can do so at this address, I think, and let us know what you think. Let us know what changes you would like to see within the child protection system. How would you like to see social workers working that would be in your best interest? If you had to encounter them, and many of you have, what would you have liked to have been different? Because we can take that information and we can feed it back, and we could let them know exactly what you're thinking. And maybe that will make a difference. Maybe they'll be able to put some of those ideas to people that are applying for this position or people that are inviting to this position to see whether or not they have a reasonable response around any of the things that concern you. So let us know what you think. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then I would like to think that you subscribe to this channel, get our numbers up a little bit so that we could perhaps earn some money or monetize it later on. So thanks for being with me. Let us know what you think and what you would like to do that could change this system. Thanks, everybody. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.